Like there's three, I got 3 attachments.
Weird.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome.
Alright, live.
Alright. No, didn't need to. Okay. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the April 7th, 2025 Select Board meeting for the town of Parsonsfield. Our 3 board members, our town clerk, and Select Board assistant here. First up is the town clerk's report. Go to Danielle.
Alright, very short and sweet. We've been extremely busy this week with motor vehicle transactions. We processed over 11,000 in just 1 week. So we ran out of plates once, and it's just been really crazy with people buying new vehicles.
Wow.
So it was a very busy week, motor vehicle wise. Just a reminder, the town office is going to be closed Monday, April 21st in observation of Patriots Day. And I just wanted to ask if, David, have you heard anything on the phone system?
Only what I told you either last week or the week before. The phones are on order, they're in transit supposedly. I will prompt them again tonight.
They confirmed that last week also when I called.
Alright.
Oh, so you talked to, no, you talked to the service
But
people.
they checked it for me,
Yeah,
on where the
well,
phones
okay.
were.
All right, yep.
Just a little to-do list, some housekeeping stuff, meeting minutes, heating fund, and reserve account work to move into our computer system. The balance of reserve account and checking account is listed there, and our little to-do list is a lot of the financial and budgetary management is there. That's really all I have tonight.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about the heating fund?
Yeah,
Did we ever figure out what we're gonna do with that money?
it has to go on a certain fund, per the auditor, and I spoke with Debbie a little bit, and we just have to make sure everybody agrees on what we're gonna do with it. It has to continually, like, change, carry over from year to year, and we just have to use it appropriately, so we're just trying to be careful before. Right now, it's all in our safe
Okay,
as cash.
okay, so, and we don't have a method yet of how to,
No,
okay,
I think we ultimately need a policy, and just lay it all out, what we're gonna do and how we pay it out.
and how we pay it out.
Aaron and I spoke about it on a Thursday. Basically, it would be nice to do a vendor setup with the local, like, heating companies, JP Carroll, the local ones that provide heat, and pay by check rather than cash. It's more trackable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So just lay out the whole process and have a policy on how we manage that.
Okay.
So,
Hopefully it starts getting warmer.
Yeah,
and we
right.
can get this done before
Exactly.
next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
And also, how we use it too, and, who can use it. Like, when do we go to the heating fund? General assistance first, and then do we go to heating fund? Or,
Uh-huh.
just the whole process laid out would be really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that may become more important with the way things are going in Washington and
Right.
requests for help.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I think we need to look at it in a big picture, rather
Okay.
than just where it goes, I guess, so.
yeah,
When we first started talking about it, I drafted a policy for it, so I can forward that to everybody so that you can take a look
Yeah.
at sort of like the draft policy that I had that kind of talked about that and talked about, especially like you said, David, with LIHEAP being canceled. Potential is there for
Yeah, we
it
don't
to be.
know.
We don't know if that's coming back or what will happen.
Right.
But yeah, it talked about needing to go through general assistance, and then because it's because it's not general assistance, you would need to publish the names of everyone who received. You'd need to publish recipients of the fund.
Where are you getting that part of it, I guess?
It was in one of the. I can't remember what towns I was looking at for this, but it talked about because it's using town funds, right? You have to publish where they're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem, they aren't really town funds.
Maybe we'd get legal advice on it.
Yeah, I mean, we could,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, okay, we need to look further into that,
Yeah.
because they really aren't
They're-
town.
Aren't they donations?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Is that it, Jen?
Yes.
And is that it, Danielle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, everybody's looked over our today's agenda. Okay with that? All right, I'll take
Yep.
that as a yes. Okay. Minutes from last week. Good for those.
didn't get them.
I didn't get them.
Didn't get them?
No.
Didn't circulate those, Deb?
Well, I thought I did, I'm sorry.
Okay. If you would do that, we'll come back to that one.
Yep.
All right, bills to be paid this week. Are you ready, folks?
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big warrant this week. $329,307 and change. Of course, we have the couple of big ones, the school monthly payment of 170, almost 177,000. We have our last payments to the plow contractors, which total about $96,000. And then, as Danielle mentioned, they had a large motor vehicle influx, everybody buying before the tariffs go into place. So that's an $11,000. We have our trash contract, which is $20,000. Other than that, it's bits and pieces.
There was EcoMaine too, did that make sense?
Yeah,
It's 3 months
yeah.
worth of EcoMaine,
Mhm.
we talked
Yeah,
this morning.
we
and
weren't getting those
We weren't
invoices?
getting invoices, she says, I'm just making sure, I said, I haven't gotten any, and a lot of these vendors now email invoices.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I never had got it, she sent me an email and it backfired, and it's not
Oh.
a size limit, we just got upgraded, so.
Wow.
Yeah, we got it figured out anyway, so.
Okay,
and that's
good.
fine.
All right. So anyways, that total again is $329,307.28. Okay. Did you guys get those minutes
Yes.
from last week? I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary. Let me know when you're...
That's a big.
The only one is
Huh?
that would list cannabis applications on hold per town attorney.
Yeah, we've taken that off, but
Okay.
it was on
Going
last-
forward,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. You okay there, Jen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. We'll take a motion to accept minutes from a week ago.
So moved.
And a second,
Seconded?
all in favor? Very good. Sign those. Oh, I didn't sign the warrant. Taking things out of
Okay,
order here.
Okay.
That's all right. So we have to go back to the warrant. I was looking at the soft copy of it and forgot that we have to sign the hard copy. So we can actually write those checks.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Oh, hit that paperclip.
Right, I couldn't have done that if I tried.
No.
Right,
Thank you.
okay.
There you go. Do you want the whole package? What's that?
Didn't mean to interrupt, are those code enforcement reports to post, or,
I've asked for digital copies.
so scan these or no?
No, I've asked for digital copies.
Okay.
Because I also want January, February, and March for this,
Okay.
for this
Did you
year.
want to look at it?
No, I will, only because I want to see the ads,
Yep.
if there's anything I can use for reimbursement, that's all.
Okay.
If it's,
Yeah.
if possible.
Yeah.
I love the ACO catching horses.
That's your posting.
That sounds like a movie.
Who else, but,
Here you go, Aaron. I need to put that back in here. Thank you.
That one goes in That
Yeah,
one, right?
it does.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I will note now that we are gonna have an executive session, as the last item, on our agenda today. So as in the past, we will have the motion to go into executive session in the live meeting, and then we will turn the camera and the audio and video off. And when we come back from the executive session, the only thing we will do is adjourn the meeting. And we will not be back online for that.
I'll take that. We don't use it.
Yep. All right, ads, we do have a revised ad for the grounds work. It's a little more explicit than the first version. Our current contractor was concerned that people were not gonna be bidding on the same thing that they were doing and bid on, so did that for them, well, did that for everybody.
And that was updated on the website as well.
Yep, good point. We have no new reports this week. The Zoning Board of Appeals has a meeting on April 10th. That is posted on the homepage of the website. And then on the, under departments and zoning board of appeals is the copy of the actual appeal. If you're interested, that meeting is at 5 p.m. on Thursday, April 10th. Okay. Review draft bids.
Yeah, so I'd sent over the two, well, we've narrowed it down to the two draft bids at this point. One is for the removal of the furnace at the old townhouse, and then I think that's probably the easier one to tackle, just from a funding standpoint.
Yeah.
I was taking a look at sort of what we had available and where we had available. So municipal general has a $10,000 budget, and we have only spent just under 3,500, of which there's 12,000 in there now that needs to be moved to either 16 or 17. That's in 19, but and so I would propose that we would pay for it out of that. And then put that out for bid, that job out for bid.
Yeah, that's reasonable until the bids come in, and then we'll have to make a firm decision,
Right.
because who knows what the bids are gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, as a, I guess, I've received one, and it would be well within the ability or the amount that we have in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Since we're doing it formally now, whoever you got the information
I've told them.
should submit a formal bid.
Yep.
Yep,
And that's for the townhouse, right?
Townhouse.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, content standpoint, are we good with Monday, April 28th? Do we want to extend that at all? I know you said,
It seems like a little bit short for anybody to take, to get a schedule to go take a look at it and
yep.
make an estimate and,
Do you want to bump it out to, say, May 12th?
yeah, since it's not a critical thing,
right.
Yep.
sure, May 12th,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right. And I updated all the words boiler to furnace.
Okay, yeah,
And so I'll send that to you for the ad, and then I'll post it to the website. Once I guess we gotta move that we post an ad for removing the furnace at the old townhouse.
Second that?
all right, any further discussion? No, all in favor of that? Very good.
Perfect.
All right. And you got the new date on there.
I did.
Okay, very good.
And then the other one is obviously the big one. It's the heating system and stove installation. So we agreed that it would be best to combine, but now we're gonna run into the issue of where the funds would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think it was helpful that we got an idea of kind of where some of the costs are gonna come in. Kind of a, first look at what the first, what a bid would be for that.
Mhm.
I think that, because obviously we don't have that in any of the, I don't think any of the, yeah.
Would you just wait until next town meeting, annual town meeting though?
Yeah, we would have to include it in the budget. It would definitely be in
Okay.
for next year's budget.
Yeah, good.
And so we would, I don't think we'd want to start posting it this early, considering, we wouldn't
We wouldn't
close
be able to-
bids until
right.
after 7/1.
It's, I don't know how long you're talking about waiting, but it's gonna be very tough if we actually wait until town meeting time to get an approval in order to get this in before the next heating season.
True.
The only other thing I was thinking was, I don't know what we have in municipal building reserve account,
We can look at that.
because I know we put 15,000 in it this year,
Mhm.
so that's certainly an opportunity, depending on how much is in there.
Right.
And then, yeah, that's really the only way we have of doing it now versus waiting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very small amount of ARPA funds too. I have no idea what we have actually left, but we need to obligate those, right? Well, they are obligated to
They're
kitchen.
obligated, yeah.
So, whatever,
I'd be real happy if we spent
Right.
them
Yeah.
yeah,
pretty quickly, just because I'm concerned about stuff getting
yes.
clawed back.
So if we can take a look at what's in the reserve,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can make that decision, because if we have to use the reserve, we can add that to our April 28th
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
agenda.
Do you want to look at that on Thursday at our workshop?
We can look at the reserves then.
We can, I'm actually not gonna be able to be here on Thursday.
Oh, no?
Yeah,
Okay.
so. Certainly look at it, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
you've seen what the amount
Yeah,
is, so, it'll give you an idea if we've got somewhere in that neighborhood in there or not. Then we could look to get that authorization then.
I can send you the sheet once it gets updated
Okay,
on where everything's at. I mean, it
Yeah,
gives everybody
yeah.
and-
Yep.
Okay.
We just need to add interest and a few other things.
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, municipal building reserve at last town report was 82,000.
so,
Yeah.
so it's there.
It's there.
So,
Mhm.
It's a big
have we
project.
put the ad in for the 28th yet? Because don't you put the agenda in that ad?
Say that again?
Don't you have to put the agenda items in the ad for the special town meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so do we want to add that?
Do you mean an article?
Right,
An
Okay.
article to do what, though?
right, well, that's, process-wise, I don't know what the exact process is, so.
Well,
Oh,
Do we need to accept the bids, knowing that we would have the funds to cover at least the one that we've received?
well, we can spend the reserve accounts for what they're for.
Like
Okay.
municipal
Yeah,
building,
We
right?
don't need a vote on that.
Oh, okay,
If you're just talking about using some of our surplus,
gotcha,
then we would need town. approval.
okay,
I thought if you were transferring from a reserve to the checking to pay out, it required a town vote.
No,
No.
mm-mm. Requires our vote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So you know, I guess we need to decide if, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a big thing. That's the only,
Right, so assuming we have 82 in there now, we have 15 going in, but already have 6 coming out for this year. So that's around 90, there's around 90,000 in that reserve account for it.
okay.
I'd have to, oh, are you in trio right now?
I am.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Ask something. Wouldn't
Sure.
you want a town vote for that amount of money
Yeah,
though?
I think we would.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's a
but,
big number.
It is.
yeah,
And we'd need our bids to come in, and
yeah,
it may
because,
take, I think we should push that out.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can,
I don't think we'll get bids by
Shoot for-
April 28th.
no,
That-
no, certainly not.
Yeah,
Certainly not
not with a
gonna,
project that sizable.
right,
I mean,
no,
how
I think
long-
you'd wanna be at least like a 60-day window
Yeah.
for bids,
Mhm.
for something that big.
yeah,
So that would give us time to figure some of that stuff out.
Yeah, so why don't we take a look and make sure everything's all set, and then next Monday, we can decide whether or not we wanna start the process at that point,
uh-huh,
and then, yeah, so that's the 14th, so then you're looking at bids are due back by the middle of June.
Uh-huh. April to May to June. Yeah,
That way you're getting it at the end of this fiscal year,
Right.
and,
mhm,
and then whoever we select would be able to start in the summer. We don't have to worry about any,
yeah.
cool May days or anything like that, where we need the,
Hopefully,
True,
hopefully they can start this summer.
right,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. I
Yeah.
mean, these companies are probably pretty busy, and who knows if they'll even be able to commit to this year.
right. Yep,
Ideally, they can,
yep.
yeah.
So yeah, so why don't we pause that one and then make a decision next week?
Yeah, okay,
That works.
sounds good. All right.
And that was it. The other ones were tabled just because I'm gonna find out more information about the septic.
Right. Okay, next item is report from the state of Maine regarding a municipally owned bridge, which I guess we own half of now. This is on Province Lake Road. It's the Glidden Meadow Bridge. It has some deficiencies noted. However, it's not an action report, it's merely an inspection report. So we need to wait and see what their action items are. And the primary deficiencies are guardrails that are damaged. There is some cracking noted in the infrastructure, and also on the deck. So I don't know how much of that is gonna have to be taken care of in the short term. Guardrails. Oh, boy. I gotta tell you, folks, I'm concerned about funding in the next 4 years. I really am.
Federal funding, you mean?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
federal funding, but it's where a lot of our state funding comes from.
Right.
Well, hopefully New Hampshire will work with us on that.
I was just gonna say, then there's that whole,
Yeah.
dragging New Hampshire into it and seeing, well, what half
Right,
do you own? Right.
Okay. Next item is a request from the Keyser Falls Fire Department for some flagpoles for the telephone poles. And where are we on that, Jen?
Oh, yeah, so we had a request from the chief of the fire department to order flagpoles for the downtown, for the Keyser Falls area. He suggested wood because the wooden ones break less frequently than the metal ones do. The metal ones actually bend. He needs 10 of them. Not sure when the flags are gonna go up because there's a few utility poles that are gonna be replaced. But I think we pretty much agreed or talked about this during our workshop, that getting them from Lowe's up in Conway would obviously would save us tax money, and they're in stock and I can pick them up,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, and they were the cheapest version.
Yeah,
that it was nice of him to do the work for
I
us.
know, it was
and
very nice, yeah.
Give us the price for,
You know, I told them we'd look at Amazon, and for the same type of a pole, Lowe's wants $10.98 and Amazon wanted $19.98, so, yeah.
Okay, so where is this money gonna come from?
Does this come from our Keyser Falls Fire Department budget, or, no?
No, that's budgeted only for their request.
Right. So, we're looking at 10, we're looking at, $110.
Yeah. I mean, I would call that an unanticipated expense, personally.
I think that would work.
yeah, I don't see anywhere else where that would make sense to go.
Yeah. All right. So let's make a motion on that one.
I'll make a motion that we use unanticipated funds to purchase 10 5-foot wooden flagpoles from Lowe's in North Conway for the Keyser Falls Fire Department.
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? The only thing I would add, and we don't really need an amendment, but just we're looking at $110. So,
Yep.
okay, all in favor? Good,
Okay?
thank you.
Just get the card if you want, when you go together.
I think what we're gonna do, when I'll be in on Wednesday, we can call and order them and.
Order 'em.
Yeah,
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 perfect.
order them for pickup there.
You can do it all online
Yep.
if you want. Done that.
Okay, perfect.
All right, updates. Jen, what do you have?
Well, let's see, besides the fire department, I have a Zoom meeting Wednesday morning with Southern Maine Planning and Development to go over some of the aspects of the grant that we were awarded through federal funds for the Community Resilience Project. And today, I also received an email saying that financial holds, well, this is on FEMA grant money, so I don't know how this is all maybe gonna be tied in, but like you said, I'm a little worried about
Yeah.
funding. So we'll see how it goes on Wednesday, and I'll report back on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Updates on legislative decisions, there's still, I think, 6 bills before the House, before the legislature on the homestead exemption. So many different aspects to it, so, and that hasn't been settled yet. The Porter CEO has asked if we would consider, we can talk about this later, a support of another legislative decision that they are working on to allow the local health officer and the Keyser Falls Fire Department to have a little more local control over search warrants. Right now, only the CEO can do that, and they've had issues in the town of Porter where they've needed more immediate entry rather than going for, like, the health officer to go get a warrant from the court, and it would take months. So they have an actual bill before the legislature as well. And we can talk more about that later, but.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just-
glanced only at the
Yeah.
first part of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Did I send it to you as well? I think I did.
Nope.
Okay. I will do that. And, yeah, so just some legislative changes.
Mhm.
I think that's it.
Okay. Aaron?
Just 2 things, 3 things really. The website, still no update. I sent her an email late last week and haven't heard, so it looks like all the content's migrated, like I'd said before. And so I asked if it would make sense for me to start going through the website and, providing feedback of where things should go and what should do. Alternatively, we gotta keep track of everything we add. Once they say they've moved everything over, we'll have to start keeping track of anything we change or add to make that change when we get access to the new website and to make changes. So more to come. I'm thinking that middle of April deadline might not be as realistic now, here, that being a week out, but we shall see. Sidewalk got the information from Deb. Thank you, Deb, for sending that over. We'll take a look and see what we can do. I know that there's a village partnership initiative through the Maine DOT that I'll look into, in addition to what we have in the reserve for sidewalks, to see about getting that section fixed that we talked about during the workshop. So I'll let you know once I hear a little bit more about that. And then Recreation Committee is meeting Thursday at 5 as well.
Cool.
So,
I added that to the website already. I reached out to Saukville Valley Recreation Council. They have 7 teams doing T-ball this year. 7 full teams of youth doing that.
Great.
So they are very excited to have our field in addition to the other. I think they have 4 fields that they use, so that will be the 5th field that they'll have available. Talked to through events, the barn dance and some other events. I've talked to some other local parents who have offered to help kind of rehabilitate the field out back, work on the infield. I'm going to get some prices for some benches, couple of benches, like aluminum ones. I'm looking at doing aluminum indoor-outdoor ones that have like the footing, so that we could use them not only for a T-ball, but bring them in the winter and
Yeah.
use them for basketball. So that would be, I'll be looking at that. There's 1,000 companies out there that supply it, so just got to find the right one. I know U1 is probably, the most standard one, so I'll look to see what's out there and come back with that. And I'll let everybody know once so SVRC coordinates the work day, they call it, and it's basically when they open up all the fields and all the parents go to their local field and do that work. It's raking, it's every bit. They're going to look to see if they had bases that they could give us.
Oh, nice.
If they don't, we'd have to acquire those as well. And so we'll just have to evaluate kind of what needs. But the backstop looks good. There's not any like glaring giant holes in it. I was, for its lack of use, it's in good shape. So
Yeah.
that was good.
I don't want to nickel and dime things, but why would we buy the bases?
Not we.
Oh.
No, it wouldn't be. We don't. I mean, we didn't set any funds aside.
Yeah.
And so it would be either a fundraising effort
Okay.
through the recreation committee,
Okay.
or it would be working with SVRC,
Yeah.
who obviously gets a budget.
Okay. Gotcha.
Here,
To do
where
that.
do they meet? Where do
The-
you meet in here?
The rec committee,
Recreation, yeah.
they're gonna. Well, last time we met in here because so Eric Fry is on the committee, and so he's gonna open up on. I'm not gonna be able to be here Thursday, so
Okay, but where are they having the meeting? What room?
in the CEO's office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the same night, Thursday?
Yeah.
For the, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so they know the building will at least be open for that, so,
Okay.
yeah, I told them that I would not be able to be here to open it, and Eric said he would be able to, so that should be good to go. And that was it for Recreation P, so,
Okay,
yeah.
great. Good to see that moving.
Yes.
Have they actually looked at the field out here, people from the rec committee?
I think so,
Yeah.
you met with,
Yeah.
was
I
it,
remember
you met with Lee, right?
I did,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just wondered if they know what it's gonna take, because it would seem, it's like, not potholes, but molehills out there in the infield.
Yeah.
You ground ball, it's gonna, maybe that doesn't matter for
I was
people.
gonna
Yeah.
say it's T-ball, right?
Right.
But I worry about ankles and
Yeah.
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, so one of the people that is offered to assistance, owns a farm,
Yeah.
has the skid steer with the big,
Yeah.
Oh,
mulcher
okay.
attachment,
Oh, wow.
to be able to do the infield.
Yeah,
And so, personally, I'd rather do it the right way and have it do that and then spread a bunch of sand
Yeah.
so that it's not
Yeah.
growing up and
Wow.
hard to maintain, so. More to come on that, maybe a future project
Yeah.
rather than get it right the first time kind of thing.
okay.
Yeah,
Good. Let's see, what did I want to say? Bleh. Now, Danielle asked about the phones earlier. Phones are in transit. I have not heard from them since the end of the week before last, so I will email again and try and light a fire under them. And this is getting ridiculous. We're dealing with an old phone system, and it's on its last legs. I guess that's really about it. Yeah.
Can I just ask,
Yeah.
when is the warrant gonna be ready to go on?
We're gonna do it Thursday.
Thursday for
Yep.
Monday posting?
Yep.
Okay.
The cannabis checklist
Oh, yeah.
is in the workshop
Checklist.
items.
Yeah,
Oh, and we did that.
we did it in the workshop. We should approve it, though.
We made the edits, yeah.
Yes,
And I sent
Right.
those to you guys, right? Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have what we think is a final version of the cannabis application checklist, which basically goes down through all the items that are required and checks them off. Depending on schedules, we may also offer a change to the cannabis ordinance that says that the select board is the entity that will deem applications complete as opposed to the town clerk. Town clerk is not really involved except, well, right now to accept the applications and the monies. So, yeah. All right. Did we vote on that? We didn't.
No, we didn't, we
Do
didn't
we need
actually.
to?
Yeah, I don't know that we need to, but I'll make a motion that we approve the checklist and application paperwork that we have before us.
Second.
Yeah. Would certainly go along. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Very good. Thank you both for your work on that.
Do you want that posted to website?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Should be wherever the application is.
Right.
Yeah. And name it similarly so that people will know that they go
Yeah.
together. Perfect.
I'll forward that to you
Will these
too.
applications have to be approved during a meeting?
Ultimately, the approval has to be during a meeting,
Okay.
yes. We can workshop going
Yep.
through the process.
Right.
Yep.
Right, okay.
The actual signature will have to be at a meeting. Okay, I think that's it for our regular meeting now. I would make a motion that we enter executive session pursuant to looking at employment matters per 1 MRSA paragraph 405.6.A. And we do need a vote on that. We need
Second.
2/3. Okay. All in favor of entering executive session? Okay, that's unanimous. I will sign the paperwork. Danielle, you can shut that off. Thank you, folks. We will see you in a couple of weeks.